Yo, what's up? Ooh, this is a good one today. This video is why are women not attracted to you? And guys, this one's gonna hurt. And the reason is because I'm going to be speaking the truth on this one, right? Sometimes the truth hurts. But listen, if this is your first time watching my channel, welcome. Thank you for stopping by. My name is Kane. I'm the Silver Bachelor. The reason why I created this channel is because I was married for over 20 years, found myself being single, a lot of things being new, went on a dating binge, and I realized that if I wanted to date eights, nines, and tens, I had to level up my game and pay attention to things that I never paid attention to before. So, based on my experience, I decided, you know what? I have a lot of interesting stories, not all great, and some lessons that I could share with all of you. So, let's get into this topic. Why are women not attracted to you? The first thing I want to focus on is hair. So, as you can already see, I have none, right? I started going bald at the age of 30, and I was torn with like, what am I going to do about this? Am I going to look at hair transplants or like what do I do? So what's interesting is I started seeing movies with Jason Statham and The Rock, uh, who they both also don't have hair, but they rock a beard. And I was like, you know what? I kind of like that look. So that's what I decided to go for. I decided to, instead of trying to do the Patrick's, getting his name wrong. Anyways, the guy from Star Trek, right? Um, all right, so he's got no hair here, and he's got a little patch of hair on the sides. Like, guys, don't ever wear that. Women do not like that look at all. The other thing that I will say is don't dye your hair and don't dye your beard. As I mentioned, this channel is all about dating advice for older guys. So women like, you would not believe how many young women like guys with the salt and pepper look. And it's the same thing with your hair. Like I see so many ads for men to dye their hair, and even ads for dyeing the beard. And don't do that, man. Just don't dye the hair. So going back to the beard, if you can grow a beard, then rock that. It doesn't have to be long. It could be short, like mine, but definitely trim that. Make sure you don't have a lot of hair here because the women don't like that. The other thing is, and I'm going to do a close-up, is I trim my eyebrows. I don't know if you can see. So I just use an electric razor to just go over my eyebrows and make sure they're not like, I don't have long hairs dangling into my eyes or any of that shit. I also trim right here in between my eyes. Don't have a unibrow. Women also can't stand that. And then the other thing I want to touch on is nose hairs and ear hairs. So guys, you got to take care of that, man. Like shave in between your ears and shave in your nose. You do not want hairs hanging out of your nose or hanging out of your ears. Like the women, here's the thing, man. Women that are, I'll even go as far as say sevens, eights, nines, and tens. In order for them to look as good as they do, they pay attention to the details. So they're paying attention to the details on you as well. So take care of your hair, make sure things are trimmed, taken care of, and don't dye your hair, but just make sure things are in the right place, if that makes sense. So next, you look like shit. Like, I see so many guys, right? I'm going to touch on a couple style things. So many guys are wearing clothes that don't fit properly. Usually their clothes are a size too big or two sizes too big. I recommend getting a size a little smaller than you normally wear. So like, look at me in this shirt, right? You might think, oh man, that shirt's pretty tight, right? Like, around the arms is a little on the tight side, but it's because of these buttons. Around the chest, like I'll stand up, like it's got lines stitching here so that it trims the stomach. So you want to make sure your pants are more slim slim fit pants. I'll stand up so you can see. So right, so the pants stretch. You know, they're a little on the tighter side. So I wear more slim pants, slim shirts. The other thing, guys, I'll point this out: your blazers. Do not listen to any of the people in these stores that say your blazer uh, sh- sleeve has to come down to your knuckle. That is absolute bullshit. What you want is you want to always show a half an inch to an inch of white underneath that sleeve. So your blazer should actually be coming finish basically where this watch band is, right? So you want it to finish right here so that you can show some sleeve. And if you don't believe me, just go and check it out. King Charles, he's one of the best dressers in the world. And he never ever wears a blazer that doesn't show the sleeve. So it's just the little things like that. Dress pants. I see a lot of guys with these baggy dress pants. Like the slimmer the clothes, the more attractive it'll make you look. And even if you're a heavier set guy, just wear clothes that are more tapered and attractive, right? So the next thing is you have bad teeth. So look, women are not going to kiss a guy with bad teeth. Like, you need to fix that shit. You don't have to have perfect veneer quality teeth, right? Like, I use Quest white strips to whiten my teeth. They're not like glistening white, but they're still white enough. And I have some crooked teeth at the bottom, so I haven't really fixed that. But at the top, they're pretty straight. And most importantly, your teeth need to look clean, because women are seeing that and they're thinking, man, I'm not even going to kiss this guy if he doesn't have good teeth. All right. So next, you smell, and you don't smell good. So first and foremost, you need to take care of your personal hygiene and be aware of that. Deodorant is a pretty basic thing. There's a product that I don't have it with me in its uh, uh, I can't call the name of it. So basically, they're wipes that you put under your arms, and basically, you won't sweat for 3 or 4 days, or it blocks most of the sweat. So use deodorant, use that, use cologne. I will do a separate video on my favorite colognes and where I get the most compliments. But those colognes, don't overspray them. So basically, the rule of thumb that I use with respect to any fragrances is I do one spray, right behind the head here. That's it. You don't want to overpower these women. There is one exception. If you're going to a nightclub, then you want to have a few more sprays because you're competing with all the other scents in the place. But one spray behind the neck, and I'll do a separate video on the top 3 fragrances that I get the most compliments on. So the next thing is you're socially awkward. Like, women pick up on these things, guys. Like, you have no idea, these little things. And if you keep watching these videos that I do, I'll tap into all these little things that'll help you level up so you can date these 7s, 8s, 9s, and 10s. All right. So socially awkward. You, if you find yourself on the socially awkward side, you can work on that. Um, I really recommend going in more social situations, interacting with people, especially in one of my videos. I mentioned that why it's a great idea to go to restaurant bars by yourself. So just engage in conversation. Um, Most importantly, don't be enamored by her beauty. So think of her as just, oh, somebody there at the restaurant. I'm going to strike up a conversation, and be self-aware of yourself and aware of her and how she's reacting, right? So if you say something and it gets a favorable response, then okay, that worked. And if something doesn't go off that great, then that didn't work. So I tried different approaches at restaurant bars. I might, for example, they ordered some food before me, and there's a couple of women beside me, and I might comment and say, "Oh, that looks really good. What did you get?" Um, that particular question really works well. However, if you were to say, "Oh, I think you're really pretty," they'll just blow you right off. So just try different things, but not being socially awkward is the key when you're interacting with beautiful women. Next, you're needy. Man, I see this so often. Needy or desperate. Perfect example. Do not, no, wait. Perfect example. Go to Facebook or go to Instagram. Any beautiful woman that's posting a picture, right, on Facebook or Instagram, go look at the comments. And you're going to see this. You're going to see all these guys posting comments. "Oh, you're beautiful. You're gorgeous. Wow, you're so hot." Okay, first of all, women don't give a shit. They're just looking for attention. So that's all. And those guys have no chance ever with that woman when they post a comment. So, and when you do that, all they're perceiving is he's needy and he's desperate, which, by the way, quick tip, women that are eights, nines, and tens perceive the world differently than women that are not eights, nines, and tens. And let me repeat that. They perceive the world differently than women that are not eights, nines, and tens with respect to men. With respect to men, how they perceive the world is that most men are creeps. Most men will cheat on their wives or their girlfriends, and most men are desperate. So you need to be the complete opposite. Do not come off as desperate. It's the same thing of, okay, you're excited, right? You get a woman's phone number and you start texting. You're thinking, "Oh man, I don't want to lose her. I don't want to lose her." But that's the wrong mindset. You know why? Because there's so many women out there like her. You don't have to worry about losing her. So, perfect example is you send a few texts throughout the evening, you ask her a question, she doesn't get back to you. Do you text her good night? Do you text her good morning the next day? In that situation where she has not responded to your previous text and you've asked her a question, don't text her back. Like, I would say don't even text her back for another 2 days, 3 days. And then maybe text her back and say, "Oh, is everything okay?" And she most likely text back if you say, "Is everything okay?" after 2 or 3 days where she hasn't responded to you. And she's going to say, "Oh, yeah, of course. Why?" And then you could say, "Oh, I didn't hear from you, and so wanted to check in." So you need to be very, very careful of how often you text a woman back, especially double texting. And what I mean is you've texted her once, she hasn't responded, and then you now text her again because that just comes off as needy and desperate. And the last thing I want to touch on is you're boring. Man, women absolutely hate boring men. Like, they're going to ask you, "So what do you do for fun? What are your hobbies?" You need to have some fun things that you do, and you need to have some hobbies, and you need to keep that conversation going. Just like as I'm doing this video, I've been talking now for 14 minutes straight, right? So you need to learn the art of just keeping the conversation going and pivoting in your conversation. And so she says something, she's like, "Oh, I really want to travel someday." And you ask her and say, "Okay, where would you like to travel?" And she's, "Oh, I've always wanted to travel to Morocco." And you say, "Oh, Morocco, oh, fantastic. Hey, that's really close to Egypt. Have, have you ever been to Egypt?" And then you can go from that to, what's interesting about Egypt is I'm convinced aliens built the pyramids. And you see what I mean? Like, you could just keep pivoting and keep the conversation going with various topics. So don't be boring. I hope you really enjoyed this video and you've learned why women are not attracted to you. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Hit that notification button because I post a video basically every day. I do these videos in batches, and so you're going to see something maybe in multiple videos in a day, but every week you're getting content. And thank you so much for watching. Have yourself an awesome day.